All right, today we're going to talk about and solve some problems using the law of sines. Law of sines. And you can actually just turn to page 570, and the law of sines is right on top of page 570. And the law of sines says that for any triangle ABC with side lengths little letter A, little letter B, and little letter C, for any triangle ABC with side lengths ABC, the sine of angle A divided by the length of side A will be equal to the sine of angle B divided by the length of side B, and that will be equal to the sine of angle C divided by the length of side C. The capital letters A, B, and C represent the vertices in the triangle. The small letters A, B, C represent the side lengths of that same triangle. So when you're given a triangle, what this means, if the triangle is labeled ABC, then the sides opposite those vertices are the side opposite of angle A is right here. And that side is little letter A. And the side opposite of angle B is this side, and it's referenced lowercase b. If angle C is this bottom angle, then its corresponding or opposite side is lowercase c. So what the law of sines says is, you're better off watching right now, that the sine of this angle over this side length is equal to the sine of this angle over this side length, and that the sine of this angle over that side length, they're all equal to each other. They're all proportional. This is called an extended proportion. Did it earlier. We've done it multiple times this year. We've done it with the ratio of angle measures of a triangle. We've done it with the salsa recipe. We did it with the red bricks and gray bricks. We've done it multiple times. This is just a different extension of it. Okay? So here's how it works. You're going to be given a triangle. And in this case, they're calling the triangle EDF. And angle E is 32 degrees. Angle D is 105. And side EF is 18. You're going to be asked to solve the triangle. You can start off solving this triangle by finding angle F. So that would be 180 minus 32 minus 105. So there's 43 degrees left, so angle F is 43 degrees. So you've got all of the angle measures. Now, the next thing for you to do in this case is to choose which side you want to find next. Do you want to find little letter f, or do you want to find little letter e? That's your choice.
E.
If you're going to solve for little letter e, you're going to set up a proportion. Your proportion is going to look like this. There's the template for your proportion. You're going to start off with an angle and a side that you know. An angle and its opposite side that's given. So your numerator would be sine 105 over 18. The sine of an angle over its opposite side is equal to the sine of an angle over its opposite side. So in this case, in the right side numerator, you've got sine of 32 over lowercase e. That's your proportion. Your next step is to crisscross multiply. So e times sine 105 is going to be equal to 18 times sine 32. You can solve for e by dividing both sides by sine 105. These will cancel, and side e, lowercase e, would be equal to, that's 18 times 32 sine, make sure you hit equals, divided by 105 sine, and hit equals again. Find each measure round lengths to the nearest tenth, angle measures to the nearest degree. So to the nearest tenth, you got 9.87, so this side is 9.9. William, move to the left just a little bit for me. Thank you. Did you guys get 9.9?
Wait, how did you get that?
So that would be the first portion, or the second part of solving this triangle. Now you need to find side f. So you can use this same ratio, or this, you can use this sine 105 over 18 and set it equal to, now you're going to use sine of 43, and it's going to go over lowercase f, which is its opposite side. Your process is the same now. It's crisscross multiply and then solve for lowercase f. So when you crisscross here, you got f times sine 105, and that's equal to 18 times sine 43. If you divide both sides by sine 105, the sine 105s will cancel, and your lowercase f is equal to, that's 18 times 43 sine, and hit equals, divided by 105 sine, and push equals again. So 12.7. So we found side E and side F using law of sines, and we found the missing angle by angle sum theorem. Anybody confused on that portion?
No.
The sine of an angle over its opposite side equals the sine of an angle over its opposite side. Just make sure when you write your proportion, anytime you write a proportion, you always have to have 3 pieces of information to find the 4th piece. So make sure that you use an angle that has an opposite side length. If you use an angle and the letter F and another angle and the letter E, you've only got 2 pieces of information out of the 4. That's not enough information. Yes?
So are we done solving it?
Excuse me?
Or do you plug the side back in?
To what?
So the triangle, because up here it said sine A equals sine B over.
The question was to solve the triangle. Do you remember what that means? That means find all the angle measures and find all the side lengths.
Oh, okay.
And we did that.
Okay, I was confused by it. You didn't have the 3. Why you only had 2 so equal.
Okay. I'm not sure what you're asking me. We're done with that problem. We found the 3 angles and we found the 3 side lengths. There's nothing else to find. That's how you solve a triangle. Now, the other type of problems you're going to see today, pay attention because these get a little more complicated. In this triangle, RST, you're given angle T is 75 degrees. RT is 5 and R to S is 7. And again, you have to solve the triangle. The first thing that you're going to want to do is find one of these missing angles. And since they gave you the side opposite the 75 and the side opposite of angle S, you're going to find angle S first. So there's 3 pieces of information out of the 4. So your first proportion is sine 75 over its opposite side 7 is equal to sine of angle S, or I'm just going to call it S, sine S over the 5. Crisscross multiply. So 7 times sine S is going to be equal to 5 times sine 75. If you divide both sides by 7, then the sine of angle S equals 5 times sine 75 divided by 7. Now, just don't do anything yet. Don't do anything yet. Remember last week, if you knew the sine of an angle, remember this, don't write this down, if sine of S equals X, then then the measure of angle X equals, then the measure of angle S equals sine -1 of X. Remember when you're trying to find an angle measure now, right? You're trying to find angle S. So if you know the sine of S equals this, then doesn't sine -1 of this, 5 sine 75 over 7, equal the measure of that angle?
Yeah, that's when you find angle.
Correct. You use the sine -1 to find the angle measure. So you can save yourself a bunch of time right here by not doing any calculations yet and just resetting your formula. So now you can type 5 times sine 75 or 5 times 75 sine equals, you can divide it by 7 and hit equals, and then push second sign and equals. And all of this equals 43.6. That's degrees. We're rounding to the nearest whole number on angles. So that's 47 degrees. 44 degrees. What's going on? 44 degrees. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, we'll do another one. But did it make sense up till you got to right here? Okay. All right, so this angle S is 44 degrees. All right, try this then. You don't erase, but I'm going to erase. See if this helps a little bit. Let's say that if the sine of angle S is equal to what's in the parentheses, then the measure of angle S will be equal to sine -1 of 5 sine 75 over 7. If the sine of an angle is equal to a number, then the measure of that angle is equal to sine -1 of that number. That's what we did last week, right?
Yeah.
So if the sine of an angle is equal to what's in parentheses, then the measure of that angle is equal to sine -1 of whatever's in parentheses. That's when you're finding angle measures, exactly. So now, you know these two angle measures, subtract them from 180. And 61 degrees right here. Angle R is 61 degrees. So now you can find side ST or lowercase r. Your proportion would look like, you can pick either of the given angles or sides. So you can still use, or you can use the sine 44. What would the sine 44 go over? The 5. And it would be equal to sine 61 over what? Over the lowercase r. Now you can crisscross multiply like you did in the first example. So r times sine 44 is going to be equal to 5 times sine 61. Divide both sides by sine 44. This cancels. And your r is equal to, this becomes a calculator problem. 5 times 61 sine. Make sure you push equals. Divided by 44 sine and push equals. And we're rounding it to the nearest tenth, so 6.3. So there's your side R. Questions? Yes.
Did you just add that 5?
Did I what?
Did you just, okay, wait, so before the 5 wasn't there, did you just add it?
This 5?
Yeah.
It's been there the whole time.
Oh, okay.
All right, your practice is on page 573. Problems 10 through 15. You're just solving each of those triangles.